The Metaverse virtual space technology is one technology that is developing at an increasing rate. Some platforms have also started to adopt this technology, such as Facebook, Instagram, including numerous online games. In today's video, we are going to discuss all there is to Metaverse, its advantages, adoption, and why you should invest in it. Let's go back in time for a bit. In the year 1973, John F. Mitchell and Martin Cooper invented the first mobile-handled phone, Motorola Dynatac 8000X. This was a huge revolution in the past because for the past 100 years since the invention of the telephone, it had been connected with wires and could not be moved. The telephone itself was magic when it was invented at that time. I mean, how would you communicate to people in different cities through wires and a piece of plastic? But when the Dynatac 8000X came out, it was more like a revolutionary phone. Since then, the mobile phone revolution began. In the year 1989, Nokia revealed its first ever mobile phone, which weighed around 800 grams. Other tech industries like IBM quickly hopped into the trend by creating mobile phones, and the invention of mobile phones and the internet seemed like the future revolution of technology. Back then, computers were huge, giant screens that looked so ugly because of the generation of computers used back then. Compared to now, they are portable and can be carried from one location to another, just like our laptops. In 1999, BlackBerry came into the picture and changed the industry by releasing a phone that supported email and could use the internet. If you compare that to the phones we use today, that invention may seem small. The smartphone we use today is greater than all the phones and computers that we created over 20 years ago. Now, you may seem to wonder, how did we go from a huge phone weighing over 800 grams to our present-day phone? When John Ive presented the idea of the touchscreen to Steve Jobs back in the 2000s, some of the Apple engineers thought this technology did not make sense. It took 4 years for Apple to bring this idea to life. That was why other brands like Nokia and BlackBerry could not compete with Apple, because they did not have the technology that Apple did. For the past 20 years, something new has also happened. We have been able to collect more data than we ever could in our entire history, and this is because of the internet. Everything that is being done on the internet is stored somewhere on the internet. Let's use this example. If you have old emails like Hotmail and Yahoo, and you research them now, you would see that they are still active, but you have no access to your emails. But if you dig a little deeper, all your present emails are creating a virtual personality for yourself online. Those born about 10 to 15 years ago are practically creating a virtual version of themselves with the smartphone in their hands. So you can see, virtual identity is not a far-fetched idea, it's already happening. Do you think the idea of Metaverse is relevant and realistic? Share your thoughts and honest opinions in the comment section below, and if you love this video so far, give it a thumbs up. When we use the words like Metaverse or virtual identity, it may sound so futuristic that we may not experience it in our lifetime. But the truth is, the revolution has been happening ever since. An average person spends at least 59 hours a week on the internet. That's almost a third of your time spent in the virtual world. You may not feel like you're in the virtual world because you are experiencing it through screens, but you are in the virtual world. In the virtual world, you can create a life for yourself. You can be whoever you want to be. Do whatever you want to do. Through Instagram, you can make yourself look like a doctor, a lifeguard, or even a teacher. On Twitter, you can make yourself look like a professional through your tweets. Sometimes the life we live isn't the same as what we put on social media, and that's okay. Also, in the virtual world, we can now host meetings from the comfort of our beds through Zoom calls. We have come to a point where we interact, entertain, date, learn, or even work in this virtual world. Some celebrities have also started to adopt the metaverse in everything they do. In 2020, Travis Scott hosted his first ever virtual concert, which about 12 million people attended. The number may seem so huge that it may sound unrealistic to bring 12 million people to a place. That's how powerful the virtual world is. On top of that, he made a whopping $20 million from that concert. Also, Ariana Grande held her own virtual concert last August, and she also had lots of online attendance. Online games such as Fortnite is also a metaverse itself. The only problem is we are experiencing the metaverse through screens, but we are about to experience it in 3D. We already have 3D lenses like Oculus, PlayStation VR, HTC Vive, Microsoft HoloLens. These are all 3D virtual lenses. If you play a game in Oculus, you would have a completely different experience. Because this is the first of its kind, these lenses have some minor inconveniences. They are big, heavy, and there are limits to what you can do with them. This was how first-generation phones were, and it's only a matter of time before we have VR headsets that are less heavy and are more comfortable. Now, another question you may ask is, whose metaverse are we going to use? Everyone is creating their own version of metaverse. Platforms such as Facebook changed their name to Meta and is trying to create their own version of the metaverse. Others, such as Microsoft, Fortnite, are all creating their version of metaverse. So, which of them are you going to use? Back then, when the internet emerged, it wasn't how it is today. It was harder to find things on the internet, but now you can get every information you need through the help of search engines. We now have social media, applications, and lots more, and the metaverse is on its way up. At the end of the day, it all depends on the amount of value we give it. For example, the US dollar. The US dollar is backed by nothing but our faith. In the past, currencies had to be backed by a particular commodity, but things have changed. As long as people believe a piece of paper is going to be worth so much, then it's going to be worth as much. We can give value to anything, as long as we decide collectively. Also, we have virtual influencers already. Let's look at Lil Miquela on Instagram. She has up to 3.1 million followers, creates content, promotes products as we do. But she does not exist in real life, and that does not stop people from liking her post and interacting on her page. In the next few years, companies are going to produce several kinds of VR headsets. For some time now, Apple has filed many patents that are working on the headset, which means that it's on its way. And that's a good thing. If they can do to headsets what was done to telephones, computers and smartwatches, it's going to change the entire game in the industry. So, is investing in the metaverse a good idea? The answer is yes. Think of the future where you can communicate virtually in both 2D and 3D. Think of how many people you could gather in a position to host a conference call. Think of all social media having their own virtual reality, where you may even get the chance to meet with your favorite celebrities or even communicate with a virtual robot. This technology is going to be the best thing that has ever been invented. Just as there is virtual reality, there is also virtual/digital currency, such as Bitcoin. The crypto market is gaining momentum around the world rapidly and may even become a global reserve currency someday. So many countries are adopting the use of cryptocurrency as a means of payment. Now, imagine what that can do in the metaverse. You would be able to pay for things through the use of these digital currencies. That's a whole new revelation of money, and this is going to be one of the best things that will ever happen in the history of mankind. We have come to the end of the video. What do you think about Metaverse? Does it excite you? Share your insights in the comments section below, and if you would love to get more information on recent innovations and creations, hit the subscribe button below, and don't forget to like this video if it helps add value. Thanks for watching.